हरे कृष्ण। कृपया सभी बैठ जाएं।
हरे कृष्णा, प्लीज काइंडली बी सीटेड। हरे कृष्णा, भगवत गीता क्लास के लिए कृपया बैठ जाइए या पीछे निकल जाइए, क्लास के लिए डिस्टरबेंस हो रही है। हरे कृष्णा। आगे से पीछे की ओर जाइए, आगे मत खड़े रहिए। हरे कृष्णा।
जयो राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जयो राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। गोपी जनवल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। गोपी जनवल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। यशोदनंदन ब्रज जनरंजना। यशोदनंदन ब्रज जनरंजना। यमुना तीरावनचारी। यमुना तीरावनचारी। जयो राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। गोपी जनवल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। यशोदनंदन भज जनरंजना। यमुना तीरावनचारी। यमुना तीरावनचारी। जयो राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जयो राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य स्तोत्र शिष्यमत अभय चरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत गोस्वामी श्री प्रभुपाद की इस्कॉन बीबीटी फाउंडर आचार्य श्री प्रभुपाद की श्रीमद् भगवद गीता की सवेद गौर भक्त वृंद की निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे all Gurus assembled devotees, all Gurus assembled devotees, all Gurus assembled devotees, all Gurus, all Gurus, all Gurus to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. Please repeat after me the Mangalacharana. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Today we are discussing from Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Canto Chapter 1, Text 30. So we'll recite line after line. I'll read one line. Please repeat after me. The shloka is there. If you can't see, then just open from the Google 1.30 Gita. न च शक्नोमि अवस्थातुम् न च शक्नोमि अवस्थातुम् भ्रमतीव च मे मना भ्रमतीव च मे मना निमित्तानि च पश्यामि निमित्तानि च पश्यामि विपरीतानि केशव विपरीतानि केशव न च शक्नोमि अवस्थातुम् भ्रमतीव च मे मनः निमित्तानि च पश्यामि विपरीतानि केशव न च शक्नोमि अवस्थातुम् भ्रमतीव च मे मनः निमित्तानि च पश्यामि विपरीतानि केशव. Any devotees wants to try reciting the verse? किसी को ट्राई करना है? Yes, please. Please recite. You recite one line. We'll all repeat. न च शक्नोमि अवस्थातुम् भ्रमतीव च मे मनः निमित्तानि च पश्यामि विपरीतानि केशव. Anyone else? One more wants to try? Fine. Na nor cha also shaknomi, am I able, avasthatum, to stay, brahmati, forgetting, iva, as cha, and may, my, manaha, mind, nimittani, causes, cha also, pashyami, I see, viparitani, just the opposite, Keshava, O killer of the demon Keshi, Krishna. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Abhay Charna Arvinda Bhaktivedanta Goswami Mishra Prabhupada. I am now unable to stand here any longer. I am forgetting myself and my mind is reeling. I see only causes of misfortune. O Krishna, killer of the Keshi demon. Purport. Due to his impatience, Arjuna was unable to stay on the battlefield and he was forgetting himself on account of his weakness, on account of this weakness of his mind. Excessive attachment for material things puts a man in such a bewildering condition of existence. Bhayam dvitiyabhiniveshata syat, Bhagavatam 11.237. Such fearfulness and loss of mental equilibrium take place in persons who are too affected by material conditions. Arjuna envisioned only painful reverses in the battlefield. He would not be happy even by gaining victory over the foe. The words nimittani, viparitani are significant. When a man sees, very important line, when a man sees only frustration in his expectations, he thinks, why am I here? Everyone is interested in himself and his own welfare. No one is interested in the Supreme Self. Arjuna is showing ignorance of his real self-interest by Krishna's will. One's real self-interest lies in Vishnu or Krishna. The conditioned soul forgets this and therefore suffers material pains. Although Arjuna thought that his victory in the battle would only be a cause of lamentation for him. We'll be offering prayers to Guru. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamsha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Welcome all our visitors to the temple, our guests and devotees that have come for the class today. We do this Sunday evening Bhagavad Gita class every weekend, so that those who have some time to churn and discuss this very important topic about how to live our life in a much more meaningful and purposeful way. Gadvi Prabhu. Gadvi Prabhu. So here in Lord Krishna is putting Arjuna into a very typical situation that we all face. Anyone here that has got everything that they have planned in their life, जो कुछ भी सोचा सच हो गया. सोच और सच में बहुत अंतर रहता है. We may think of many things, but the think to become a thing, there is lot of perspiration. Therefore they say there is 1% inspiration and 99% perspiration. People think that just by thinking things will happen. No matter how good you are in your thinking capacity, in your making your plans, life is in such a way that at some point or other, what we expect from life doesn't happen. And more so in the Kali Yuga. And dilemma, or we really go into a crisis mode when things happen in the areas of our strength, places where we feel that we are more strong, we are most confident. Like Arjuna is a warrior. Arjuna should not be in a dilemma to fight or not, because he has prepared for this for last 13 years. And because it was a very justified thing for him to stand there to support dharma. It was not just for his family welfare, but it was also for the society's welfare. But suddenly when he starts to see that what is in front of him is the exact reverse situation that he expected. This often happens that before we achieve something, there is lot of anticipation. Say a student goes to college. This is a time where most of the students, any students here? So now you must be expecting to go into a good college. The engineering results are going to come, the entrance results. And this time there is a lot of anticipation. If I can get to this particular college, then my future will be very secure. Say if I get into some of the top colleges, and you do get into, if you do get into the such colleges, you are happy. Oh, finally my dream is getting fulfilled. But no matter how good that situation may be, in few months you will face a difficulty, a challenge that you thought will not be there, and you start to think that why did I get into this college, or why did I get into this job? Because now they are asking me to go to some other city, or they are asking me to learn a language which I am not comfortable, or they want this particular thing, or my boss, I thought he'll allow me to work in a way, he'll give me freedom. But the expectations that come upon us when we take up something are sometimes beyond our capacity to fulfill. When a person gets married, I was preaching long back, giving classes in dental college, government dental college. So there a boy, he somehow got in relationship with another of his colleagues, a girl, and I told him that this is the time to study. All this, you have come here to study dentistry, but don't go into palmistry. हाथ मिलाने का ये सब मत करो. He said, no, Prabhuji, she is just a friend. But after few kind of weeks, he came and he was saying that, Prabhuji, she is expecting so much of the time that I have to call her in the morning, in the evening, and I didn't expect that if relationship means so much time has to be spent. So now I'm stuck. This was just thought it was like a side hobby. Whenever you want to open YouTube, you can open and you can close. It's not like that when you get into a relationship. If some message comes and the reply is not sent, then the other person gets upset. Therefore, they say, after WhatsApp has come, lot of miscommunication has started. It's a communication mode. Especially in Italy, they have found out, many relationships became worse because of miscommunication. We want to say something, but the other person understands in another way. So many times in life that when we take up something, the kind of situations that turn out are not completely in our understanding. And Arjuna herein is saying this, that seeing the current situation that is in front of me, my mind is reeling. Brahmativa chame mana. Like sometimes, students, when they face the exam paper, their mind reels. Sab tare dikhte usme. They don't see the letters. Their mind reels because there is so much anxiety. And Shaknomi, I am not able to even stand here. I am unable to stand here any longer. Forgetting myself. My mind is reeling. And what's the reason? Prabhupada mentions, Nimittani cha pashyami viparitani keshava. What I thought will be a very happy situation, what will give me happiness, is going to give me the exact reverse. And these kinds of reversals we all face. And in the Gita, in the 6th chapter, Lord Krishna explains that there are 3 kinds of places from which reversals can happen. First is situations can reverse. Once it is said that a person he was given an option. When he left the body, he was given an option that you have done both good deeds and bad deeds. do you want to go to heaven or hell? And said, what kind of question is this? No, so no, we take to both places, and then we give an option. So ठीक है, मुझे दोनों दिखा दो. And he was taken to first hell. And in the hell there was no nice music being played. There was someone who was coming and serving him some nice, like a party atmosphere, and he was confused. How come this is hell? And then he was taken to the heaven, where there was a peaceful garden, and someone was sitting at that one corner, someone else, and no one was disturbing anything. And because he liked to socialize, and there were so many people down there and nice party happening, he thought, looks like hell has changed, hell has improved, so I will choose hell. And when he went there, when he was sent in the elevator down, then when he went there, he saw an entire different situation. He saw that people were being boiled, people were being, rivers, they were held rivers and being swung like a jhula, and he was being brought there. And he said, wait, this is not what I chose. I thought hell, I was shown a very good view of hell. Then why am I being brought here? Jai Shri Radha Gopinath Bhagwan ki, Shri Gopal ji ki, Shri Gaur Nitai ki. And then the people there, the staff, the hell staff said, sir, when you came, that was advertisement. that was the trailer. And we all know how we see some ads, and advertisements are always hyperbolic. They show you, if you buy this particular washing powder or this particular washing machine, you'll become like glowing. There will be such a tejas all around you. Everyone will start to look, no matter how bad your clothes are soiled, it will get clean. Or it may be about a air condition, it may be about a house. And and once we don't go into that situation, the situation no longer stays like that. The situation starts to turn. First, in terms of weather, if you go in this part of the time to west, it's very pleasant. There is summer time, like in the mid-20s, very pleasant. And if you make your decision based on that particular time, oh, Canada looks to be very pleasant. But in other seasons, it's very severe cold, and such cold that most Indians they choose to move to the lower parts of these Western countries where more tropical climate. So when situations in a relationship, in season, when they change, people are not going to remain the same. The weather is not going to remain the same. And therefore, when we expect something from a place or a situation, and that doesn't happen, there's a nice poem that says that man, he is always wanting what is not. When it is hot, he wishes for winter. Winter अच्छा रहता था. And when it is cold, he wishes for summer. Always wanting what is not. जब पढ़ाई चल रहा है, तो he thinks, when will vacations come? And when vacations are there after 10-15 days, he's thinking, when will college start? Because now I can't move out of the house, or parents are constantly saying, कहाँ जा रहे हो? पहले तो बहाना मिलता था to go out. In COVID time, we were all forced to stay indoors. That time we were all, yearning to go outdoors. Now, we are thinking, gosh, work from home is better. But no situation in this world is going to satisfy us. And therefore, to expect that, in situations will always stay like that. It said that, a boy usually and girl, when they're kind of getting married, they both have a particular type of illusion that the boy thinks that the girl will remain like this forever. Her beauty, her kind of demeanor, everything will remain the same. And that the girl will expect this guy who is so spaced out will change sometime. So the boy expects that the girl will never change. She'll always remain like this, very gentle, sweet. And the girl expects that this boy will improve. He'll become mature. And sometimes it's seen that the girl has to raise before the kid first the husband into a civilized person. But both illusions, the body has the DNA, it goes through its own changes. So the person, long back when we had Prerna, and one of the guests for the Prerna was Miss India. And I was announcing our special guests. And the moment I announced that we have a very special guest today, Miss India, and Prerna is all boys, all college boys, bubbling with enthusiasm. So they were all looking, kahan hai Miss India? Because they couldn't note any of the guests. Then I asked her to kindly stand up, and she was Miss India from 1971. And all that beauty is in that particular age. And after the age passes, then the beauty, some people try to cling on to that through makeup, through facelift, through all types of surgeries. But the situation doesn't remain the same. And Arjuna here, therefore he was bewildered that, hey, I thought when I'm coming here to fight, I'm going to win the war and I'm going to have a very happy life. But whom is he going to fight with? His own family members, his own people. Like when there was partition in India, some families were overnight disrupted into a Indian and a Pakistani. And they had to, when the wars were waged, sometimes they were facing their own family members, their cousin, their uncle. It was very difficult for them to kill them. And so Arjuna, only when he came close to the situation, he started to become nervous. And this happens that from far we kind of look confident, but when things start to come close, exams, deadlines, or the talking to the person, trying to solve the situation, we all go through this, that nervousness, stress. And Prabhupada says that why is there fear and loss of equilibrium, the mental balance? Because we are too attached to the result of that situation. We are too, like Prabhupada says here, excessive attachment for material things puts a man in such a bewildering condition of existence. That is so attached to it, there is such obsession for that particular situation. Another thing which people expect, which people know, they face reversal, is with objects. चीजें भी बदलती हैं. And when you are excessively attached to some object, once a man, he bought his latest phone, and as he was no, going somewhere, he slipped and fell. And there was a crack. And he immediately became very anxious. कि क्या टूट गया, मेरा phone तो नहीं टूट गया. So he started to pray to God. Oh God, let it be my bone, not my phone. Because of excessive, no, इतना पैसा खर्चा किया इस पे. And people have nomophobia. If they don't touch their mobile for 10 seconds, they become like Arjuna. कहाँ है मेरा mobile? And so this is because of excessive attachment. If you don't find the person, find the object, you kind of become very, disturbed. And Prabhupada says that Arjuna, he was obviously put into this condition by Krishna, that he was very much attached, like all of us, to the bodily external identity of the relationships that he was having, to the body. And he was concerned that, no, if they all die, this particular soul I'll not be able to deal with, relate with this person. The person will go away, and I will be the cause of death of this person. So many times in relationships, the bonding is only very physical, very superficial. Sometimes people just get connected to each other just because of the fame they carry, or the money they carry, or the likes that they have. Just because of that, I want to connect to this person. Or based on the beauty, based on the body. Or little deeper is based on the mindset. But a true friend, true relationship is where you actually genuinely value the person, value his qualities, and see the person's true identity as not that because people's body changes, people's mindset changes, people's intelligence changes, but people's true identity as the soul, that doesn't change. So because Arjuna was attached on the physical condition, bodily condition, and which is obviously a big thing, that beauty industry, cosmetic industry is big, because people like to look good, people like to look fit, and it's one thing to be healthy, but healthy doesn't mean a particular structure of the body. In Ayurveda, there are different ways, different bodily structures for different. These three principles, kapha, vata, pitta, different. In one, whatever is prominent, his health definition is different. But now we try to nirvishesha, we try to remove all kinds of differentiations and just define success just in terms of money, or in terms of a particular beauty, in terms of a particular mathematics. But when we go beyond these identifications and see that this is not what is the identity of the person, we will not be disturbed. So therefore, situations, there can be reversals in situations. Therefore, Krishna in the 2nd chapter, he says, Matra sparshastu kaunteya shitoshna shuka dukkada agama apaino nityas tamsatikshvasya bharata. He says that the seasons in a year keep changing. And it is good to go through the seasons of a year. Like now, rainy season is there. It causes inconvenience, but it's good for the vegetation, for the crop production. It's very good, because if rains don't come, how will the grains be produced? And it's also good for our body. And there is a particular regime which, like Chaturmas, is going to start very soon. These 4 months of the rainy season, there's a particular lifestyle that is recommended spiritually and also materially, in terms of diet, that will be most helpful for us to go through this season. And then there is winter season. Winter season has a different purpose. Each one can be seen as a disturbance, or each one can be welcomed for the purpose for which helps. And also summer. Summer may bring a lot of heat, but it also brings sweet mangoes, and also it no. So the body, when that body which goes through all seasons, it is very healthy. But when we try to artificially isolate ourselves from the weather situations, say too much air conditioning or too much indoor, not going into the sun, then those seasons won't actually help. Once a baby camel, it was asking its mother about the kind of things that were there with him, which she didn't understand. So the baby camel asked the mother, "Mother, why is it that we are having a huge, a tall legs? We have these high legs. Why is it that we have these high legs?" And the mother said, "Because in the desert, there is so much heat. God made our body top higher so that we don't burn. If the stomach is so close to the sand, all the organs will get burned. So the God has created this ventilation so that our organs can stay cool even in intense summers in the desert." Then the baby asked, "Why is it that we have this transparent eyelids?" The camels have these transparent eyelids by which, even in a sandstorm, they can walk. It's something like, God-given contact lens or God-given specs. And thankfully, Krishna, God didn't give us, otherwise I won't know who is sleeping here or who is awake. Nowadays, there are some kind of, labels that people put on their eyebrows. That आंख बंद भी किया तो लगेगा कि देख रहा है. Or sometimes they do on Zoom, they put a photo of them as if they are eagerly looking, or sometimes a GIF on the Zoom. लगेगा कि व्यक्ति है उधर लेकिन है नहीं. So God gave camels transparent eyelids so that it could see and walk even in a storm. So the baby was very happy, grateful to God that God thought so much about our life and gave this. And the baby asked, "Why do we have this huge hump on our neck? It doesn't look so beautiful, it looks like anyone that has a hump on their neck, it's like awkward. So why did God give this awkward looking hump on our back?" Then the mother answered that it is because in the desert there is no water for days together. So this is a inbuilt water tank, syntax. In any building we have this water storage. So God has given us internal water storage. Human beings don't have. If we drink too much water, what happens? Kidneys get overloaded. The water gets flushed out. There is no post-processing water bladder is there. But like a storage somewhere here, there is no storage for humans because we are not supposed to be living in a desert kind of situation. But camels are designed that way. So God gave us these water tanks so that we could be happy, survive even in desert. And of course that becomes sometimes cause of killing of camels just to get that water. Human beings, they end up killing if they don't find water. And it said at least for 10-15 days they can do Nirjal Ekadashi. No need of drinking water. And then the baby camel asked the fourth question for which the mother had no answer. And that was, if God made us high legs so we could walk in the desert peacefully, these eyelids and this water tank, why is it that we are in a closed arena in a city? Because the mother and the baby camel were put in a zoo. And in a zoo, in an artificial situation, all those gifts that God gave to the camel doesn't make sense. This seems to be भगवान ने ये क्यों दिया मुझे? So therefore, the more natural position we go in our lives, the more we can experience how God is merciful. And therefore, Prabhupada mentions here, the most natural position for a living entity is to align himself with God's will. The problem that Arjuna was facing here was that Senayor Ubayor Madhye Ratam Sthapaya Mechyuta. He told Krishna, Krishna, please take me to the middle of the battlefield because you are Achyuta, because you can fulfill any desire. You will never fail in your promise. Therefore, please take me to the middle of the battlefield. And Prabhupada mentions that a jiva, a living entity, many people come to God to pray to fulfill their desires. They have a plan and they want God to be that fulfiller of their plan. It's just like going to a restaurant and telling the waiter, क्या क्या चाहिए आपको? I want sandwich, I want this juice. So people come to God and they think He's the desire fulfiller. He fulfills my desires. But do our desires bring fulfillment? Desires fulfilled may not bring fulfillment of desire, fulfillment of our life. Because we may think, why did I desire this particular thing? Why did I desire to shift to this particular location or this particular job or this particular country? When some reversals happen, then व्यक्ति सोचता है that why did I choose this? Like it's said that in the 20s, the lust factor is so strong that the boy influenced or girl influenced by lust, he kind of tends to be liking anyone, that everyone looks beautiful. But in 30s, he's married, so he loves that particular lady only, or the girl likes that particular boy. There is no other attraction, usually. But typically by age of 40, the boy or the girl, उसके अलावा बाकी सब अच्छे लगते हैं, not in terms of lust, but that this person has such a idiosyncrasies and troubles, and typically almost every beyond 40 will say, जो मैं है जो इनको झेल रही हूँ. So the whole situation changes what we expect, because we think our plans can bring us happiness, and we ask God to fulfill our plans, not knowing that it is God who can make the best plan for us, and we should be the ones who is fulfilling God's plan. So it is an exact reverse. So why do we face reversals? Because we have not reversed the equation of happiness. Happiness is not brought by fulfilling our plans. Happiness is brought by living by God's plan. Therefore, when we come to Krishna, when we come to the temple, we ask God, please first of all, show me what's the plan of my life, and give me strength to face whatever is happening according to that plan. And typical question that people ask is, for Arjuna, Krishna was there, was telling what is the plan of action. हमारे लिए कौन है? Who will tell us what is the plan of life? For that you need to read the Bhagavad Gita. Because if you read the Bhagavad Gita, you get the general instructions, the general pattern lifestyle that Krishna expects all of us to behave. Just like when you are boarding a flight, does the pilot have to tell what is the plan for the passenger? There are general norms that don't disturb the execution of the flight. Please wear the seat belt. When there is takeoff or landing, don't call the air hostess or don't try to go to the washroom. There are general instructions. So Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita, he tells us what are the lifestyle changes that we need to make. Where do we need to pose our affection? Where do we need to, what do we need to, control? And people don't hear to these instructions that Krishna has already given. It's like, interested in sending questions, but not interested in reading the answers. Sometimes it happens even on communication, WhatsApp, that व्यक्ति बस भेज ही रहा है messages. He is not reading, he is not hearing. Or even in a conversation, the person is interested to speak only, he is not interested to hear. सुनने के लिए तैयार नहीं है, सुनाना है. So when it comes to Krishna, Arjuna is getting into this bewildering situation because he thinks that he has a plan for life and he wants God to fulfill that plan. But when a nation, when a community, when an individual, when a family, they go against dharma or they don't consult with Krishna or Krishna's instructions, dharma, and make their plans, then their plans are bound to fail. And he uses a very beautiful, a very pertinent name for Krishna called as Keshava. Keshava is a very important name, one of the very prominent names of Krishna. Keshava, Prabhupada, comes from this Vrindavan's Leela. There was a demon called as Keshi, and this demon came as a horse. And thank you. This demon came as a horse, and he was so huge that he was practically touching the clouds. And he came on the order of Kamsa to create disturbance in Vrindavan and kill ultimately Krishna. And in Vrindavan there is a particular place called as Keshi Ghat, if any of you visited Vrindavan. And that is a particular place where Krishna killed this demon Keshi. And this demon, horses have a very big mouth, big body, but also big mouth. And with this big mouth, Keshi was blabbering, speaking his glories and trying to show that how he is better than Krishna and how he can kill Krishna. Therefore, the way Krishna killed Keshi, anyone knows how Krishna killed this demon Keshi? घुमाया, घुमाने वाला ये राक्षस नहीं है. केशी को कैसे मारा भगवान ने? Krishna came and he saw this huge mouth of Keshi. He was babbling, he was shouting abuses, and he came and he put his hand in Keshi's mouth. भगवान ने केशी के मुंह में अपना हाथ रख दिया. And Keshi thought, this person is foolish. मैं उसको मारने आया हूँ और ये मेरे मुंह में ही हाथ रख रहा है. Sometimes we see these videos of somebody trying to feed a crocodile or feed a dog, and it catches the hand only. So it was not by mistake that Krishna, he wanted to punch or something. He consciously put his hand in the mouth of Keshi. And Krishna's hand is actually very soft. Soft like cotton. Like a baby's hand, it's so soft. So the Vrindavan Vasis, for them, Krishna's hand was like that. Very soft. But when Keshi experienced Krishna's hand, it was burning like a hot iron rod. And Keshi's entire life hair and his entire body started to burn by Krishna's putting that hand. कुछ किया नहीं. In all other pastimes, outside Vrindavan, Krishna uses different weapons. But in Vrindavan, his hands are only his weapons. So he just put his hand in Kesha's mouth, and it was hot, and it started to choke the breathing of Keshi, and he struggled and he died. So Krishna, so Arjuna uses this word, hey Keshava, hey O killer of the Keshi demon, you have killed such big demons, but the biggest demon is my mind. मेरे माइंड में जो डाउट आया है that this is not favorable, please kill that. And why do we come to temple? Why? To cure our mind. Why do we need to come to Krishna? So that we can cure our mind of these doubts, these demons, these negativity that we carry. That plan बनाते हैं और हम ही उस plan को बिगाड़ देते हैं. We only foil our plans, or the plans go against us. Therefore Arjuna uses this word, that Arjuna is showing his ignorance of his real self-interest, of course by Krishna's will. One's real self-interest lies in Vishnu. If we want to truly progress in our life, instead of making our plans and coming to Krishna, first come to Krishna and consult him to make your plans. What is the purpose for which we want to have family? What is the purpose for which we want to have job or whatever? It's not that God is going to tell us, don't make plans, don't have a life. Krishna is telling, Attishta Bharata, Ma Manusmara Yudhyacha, is imploring Arjuna to fight. But in the name of external work, don't get so busy that you forget your internal progress. Sometimes there are some plants, they make look externally very big, but when storms come, if the roots are not strong, then they fall away. Like typical rainy season, so many trees fall away when the roots are not strong. But when the foundation is strong, then they can wither all seasons, all storms. And so usually in our life we focus on social or our external growth, but our internal growth, our internal maturity, our internal connection, our subtle bodies, our intellectual growth, our mental growth, our spiritual growth, we don't focus. And when we don't focus, it is like a building that to save money, he has built 10 floors above, but he has not ensured that the foundation goes at least to 5-6 floors. Usually the best building is that which जो इतना ऊपर जाता है उतना नीचे भी जाता है, either in terms of depth or in terms of the weight. Then the building is strong. But if we don't do that, and when storms come, when difficulties come, then we get shattered, we get confused. ऐसा क्यों हो रहा है? इस व्यक्ति को मैंने इतना दिया है, I have done so much for this person, and this person is only causing me trouble. The person whom I invested the most, he is only giving me trouble now. It is said that in Kali Yuga, there was a symptom that Pandavas experienced, that in Kali Yuga, Bhima saw this, that a pot of water was poured into 4 smaller pots. And when the time, and then those pots were taken and again poured back into this bigger pot. But when they saw the water was only half, पहले जब इसमें से उसमें डाला था, वो सब भर दिया था. But in the reverse, it only filled half. And Bhima was confused, that doesn't make sense. 4 divided by 4 is 1, but when 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 is only coming to 2, how is this? So then Krishna explains in Mahabharata that this is a symptom Kali Yuga that the parents will do so much for their children, but when it comes to for the children to give back, they grudge, they complain, they don't see, there is no gratitude in the receiver. Therefore, it said that man gets and forgets. God gives and forgives. And so when we align ourselves with the plan that Krishna has for our life, and Krishna has an amazing plan for us to become happy. Krishna, but to do that we need to connect to him. Just like if the mobile doesn't have the satellite connection, the data connection, it cannot download, it will get lost, that there is no mobile, there is no signal. So if we are not connected with Krishna, then even our vertical, our horizontal relationships in this world, we will face reversals. That because our expectation is from people that they should be as kind as I am. But everyone is going through a different kind of situation, and because of Kali Yuga's effect also, people don't reciprocate. And if all our investment is in material things only, and when material things don't, material people, situations, objects and people, when they don't give back, when they change, then we face the reversal and we can get very morose, very depressed. That मैंने कभी नहीं सोचा था कि ये व्यक्ति भी मेरे साथ ऐसा कर सकता है. And Arjuna faced this reversal, and for us to not face, not go through these heartburns, heartbreaks, breakups, we should ensure that the way we progress in our life is by consulting with Krishna and not telling him what he should do, but asking him what I should do. There is a verse that says in the 10th chapter, Nimittani cha pashyami viparitani Keshava. Later Arjuna says that Karishye vachanam tava. Arjuna submits and says, "Oh Krishna, please tell me what I should do. You plan my life, I will execute." And Prabhupada said that simply, that for us to get, Krishna wants us all to get purified, doesn't want to, so that we don't remain in this material world, keep taking on birth after birth. And the best way to connect to God in this age of Kali Yuga is by chanting his names. There are nowadays mobiles, you just say someone's name, call Rishikesh, and the mobile calls Rishikesh. Same way when you call Krishna, then spiritual technologies by which just the name is sufficient to connect to Krishna. Therefore, in this age, Kalo Tad Hari Kirtanat, the best way to connect to Krishna is by chanting the holy names. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And when we connect to Krishna, then Krishna from inside, in the form of Guru, in the form of devotees, he tells us how to take steps in our life, how not to get confused and bewildered in our life. And even if some difficulties come, like in rainy season, छाता हो या ना हो, raincoat हो या ना हो, भीगेंगे तो है ही. Right? Does raincoats, umbrellas protect you from not getting wet? They don't. थोड़ा तो पानी लगेगा ही. But if you don't carry a raincoat or an umbrella, you will not be able to go to work next day. You will get totally drowned in that rain. Same way, the wisdom of Bhagavad Gita, it is like an umbrella. Difficulties, challenges, reversals will keep happening. But the wisdom of Bhagavad Gita will keep our mind sane, mind in balance. Because अगर मन भ्रमित हो गया, then we will not be able to take any, like sometimes some of the best cricketers also, if they are not focused, if their mind is not stable, they may just get tempted and get out. So therefore, to keep a check on the mind is very important, and the best way to do that is to chant Maha Mantra, Manas Trayati the mantra, that which, or Mandir, that which steadies the mind. So therefore, it is very good to regularly come to the temple, regularly chant the holy names, follow the principles of dharma, of cleanliness, of truthfulness, that which Krishna tells in the Bhagavad Gita. And when we do that, we won't be going through the situation. There are three types of learners, Prabhupada says. One type of learner is those who experience और डांट खाने के बाद वो सीखते हैं. That they go through that difficulty and I should not put my hand into fire. Second type of learner is one who sees others go into that difficulty. Oh, no, I should not be doing this particular thing. Third type of learner is one who listens, understands, and doesn't get into it. So at least be second, कि दूसरों का देख के, अर्जुन का देख के we learn, or we hear from Krishna and we learn. And Prabhupada says worst type of learner is जो देखता है, एक्सपीरियंस करता है, फिर भी सीखता नहीं है. बार बार he is making the same type of mistake. It is written on every cigarette packet, smoking is injurious to health. And he is seeing that, learning that, knowing that, still they smoke. Cool. It's like cool. It's not cool, it's fool. It's fooling ourselves, thinking that it is cool. It is fire, it is not cool. It is going to burn and be addictive. So therefore, let us align ourselves with the principles that Krishna is teaching and chant holy names of Krishna so that we don't get bewildered in our lives situations. So thank you all very much for your kind attention. And now the Lord's night outfit and Shayan Darshan will be opening, where there will be beautiful soothing kirtan that will be sung for their pleasure. And please do participate. And before that, if you have any questions, you can take one. Yes, sir.
Haribol.
Sir, Radha Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Yes.
Sir, there are so many avatars already been done. Kurma avatar, Vaman avatar, Narsimha avatar, and I think eight or nine, how many avatars I am not knowing, but there is one avatar is remaining, Kalki avatar. So, can you tell me, sir, what is the time or date when that avatar will be, and that will be the last avatar of Krishna?
Yes, yes.
So, what is the date for that? Timeline or date?
We are not going to witness him. It's much, much later. After thousands of years. Kali Yuga's lifespan is 432,000 years. And Kalki Avatar is mentioned to be coming at the end of Kali Yuga. We are at the beginning of Kali Yuga. We have only crossed 5,000 years of Kali Yuga. So there is 427,000 years more before Kalki comes. And Kalki is not going to give Gita's knowledge. He's just going to do the final wind up. Anyone who is devotee, go back to Godhead. If you are not a devotee, then annihilate them, kill them.
Sir, but I think that much time it is, I think it is very late.
The purpose is to go back to Krishna and he has given us the knowledge. So, as I said, three types of learners. So the first type of learner is best is you hear, you understand, and you purify your life and go to Krishna. And for that he has given so much time. So we should be grateful कि अगर डांटने वाला है, फेल करने वाला पहले ही आ गया, सब फेल हो जाएंगे. And if you're too, and Prabhupada said, don't wait for Kalki avatar to come, because situations become so difficult that it's very difficult time. As Kali proceeds, life is going to become more and more tough. As you know, summers, winters, everything becomes more and more tough.
Sir, can you describe the physical appearance of Kalki?
It's all there in the Bhagavatam. The Kalki is going to have, his Vahan will be horse, like today we mentioned horse. His Ayudha will be a sword.
What will be his weapon?
And he will be born in a particular state in the northern one of the states. His father's name is mentioned.
But already, sir, in north, Krishna's birthplace is there. So I think Kalki's birthplace will be somewhere else.
Yes, it's all mentioned.
It is not compulsory that Kalki will also be born in Mathura only.
No. Kalki's name is mentioned, where he will be born, who will be his parents, everything is mentioned.
And what will be his main weapon?
Sword, Khadga.
And his physical appearance, he will be black, white, grey, which color?
I don't remember. It is there in the Bhagavatam.
But sir, but one last question, sir.
Yes.
If I am taking a lot of time, you can take the mic back. But there is one doubt, sir.
No, please ask something that is relevant what we discussed today, right? Sir, Kalki, I didn't mention about Kalki at all. So please ask something that is part of the class.
But sir, I want to know, you told that 4,05,000 years still remaining. But I think that much timeline is very, very long.
Who are we to decide? It is Krishna who plans the life. Krishna has given us 100 years. उसमें अगर आप परफेक्ट करेंगे तो उधर तक रखने का जरूरत नहीं है हमको.
Sir,
and if you get purified, if you go to spiritual world, you will see all avatars together.
Last question.
Is the Kirtan team here? If anyone else has any question? He has a question. Please speak on the mic.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
So my question is related to the last session of Bhagavatam Gita, where the Guruji was explaining about the Ramaya and Lord Hanuman. So I had one question, and I wanted to ask you that what do you think about the Agni Pariksha of Mata Sita, and is that was ethical and why it was compulsory?
So it's a very big debate, big confusion that people have, that Lord Ram was very cruel. But in that avatar, the purpose was to set the proper maryada, proper ways in which human society should conduct. And he wanted to show the purity of Mother Sita to the world. And therefore, he made her go through the pariksha, and he came out as pure, that there was no contamination in her heart. And another explanation is that Ravana never touched Sita. Ravana had taken Chaya Sita, a Maya Sita, and Agni had kept the real Sita, and through that Agni Pariksha, the Maya Sita entered into that Agni, and Agni Dev delivered the real Sita back to Ram. So Sita Devi never was touched or even went to Lanka. But obviously this is a very a beautiful pastime, and what's the purpose for which this happens. There is a story of Vedavati in the Puranas, who wanted to be the consort of Lord Ram, and therefore Lord Ram gave that chance in this pastime, that she was the one who became the Chaya Sita that went. Okay, and one announcement is about we are discussing the Gita sequentially, but it may take long time, verse by verse. So we do have a crash course, a short summary course of the Bhagavad Gita called as Sutras for Self-Discovery. We do this every month, every 2 months, and in this you will get a short life connected, life-oriented application of the Bhagavad Gita. And so this will be coming Friday, Saturday, Sunday, July 7th, 8th and 9th in the evening 7 to 9. And this will be given by His Grace Gopinath Chandra Prabhu. He is one of my seniors. He is a graduate from IIT Bombay and a very good thinker and speaker. So please do register if you have not registered for this. The topics will be happiness and purpose. What is true happiness? What is the purpose of life? Second is good and God. That why do bad things happen to good people, or does God exist? Why there are so many gods? And third is Gita in life. How do I practically apply the Bhagavad Gita in my life? So these are the three topics, and our devotees are standing at the back with registration and these pamphlets. It has a QR code for registering. There is a small nominal fees for this. So if you can, please do attend this course so that you get a short summary study of the Gita so that you can start applying. Otherwise, verse by verse is good, but it will take a long time for you to complete it. Okay, please. So with this, we'll stop now and request Shivaram Prabhu to take us into